Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to All Stock Trades. In this video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the recent Trump and Biden debate on how it's going to affect Clover Health. These are my thoughts. So I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible. Again, I don't want this to be a political channel, right? Good morning, Patrick. Hello, hello, hello. But for people that are interested in what am I politically, I'm an independent. I like to listen to both sides. I think now, like being an independent is like so cool because you're able to criticize both people. And the sad part is no independent person will win in this world we live in. But so let's give you my stance. So being an independent really helps me kind of figure out kind of what I want, right? And kind of like see through other people's bull crap. So in this video, there's a lot to dissect, right? I don't know which order to present this in. I'm just going to give you the top line here, okay? So I'm going to ask you a question. Is a Trump versus Biden presidency, which is better for Clover Health? Okay. Now the answer is obviously nuance. But if I were to say, if I were to give an answer, I would say 70% Biden and 30% Trump. Now you might ask me, you might say, whoa, what did you say? I thought Trump was good for the economy. What you're saying, you're clearly a Democrat voter if you like Biden. A lot of people say Trump. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to argue Biden. And you're going to look at me, you're going to be like, what in the world is this guy talking about? Clearly, this guy's a Democrat. Let me explain myself. Okay, I said about 75% Biden. Why? In the debate, if you don't recall, in the debate, it was not a good moment for Biden. I'll give you my opinions. I'm going to tell you when it's my opinion, right? This is like my insights, right? Which is, I guess, an opinion. Biden said, he I guess killed Medicare or did something to Medicare, like and then Trump said, yeah, you certainly did kill Medicare. You certainly did, right? What does he mean by that? Well, Biden made it harder for the incumbents like Humana to make money in healthcare. Because if you remember the CMS, which is the people that basically orchestrate the star ratings that allow give the money back to these I always say Humana. I know it's Humana, but I'm going to say Humana. So deal with it, right? So Humana, right? Humana goes in and gets money from the government. And so what CMS did is they made changes in some rules that made a lot of these Medicare companies go down, right? And it's interesting right now. It's a little up right now in the pre-market, right? So a Trump presidency, like if you were to go to the CEO of Humana and United Healthcare, if you were to go to these people, they prefer Trump because Trump is going to peddle the incumbents basically winning, because that's how it's always been, right? So a Trump presidency will propagate what the longevity of a Humana versus what Biden has been doing. Biden has been essentially holding these insurance companies accountable and trying to reduce the spend in healthcare. And it's been squeezing Humana in making money, which has allowed an environment to disrupt and allowed Clover Health to essentially, use that disruption. So if I were to argue, Biden will be better for the disruption for Humana, right? Because it'll allow these healthcare companies to get squeezed to where the CEOs are not making absorbent amount of profits because CMS is having their money held tight. And if you don't recall, a president has the authority for people that are are not in the United States, people that are in Canada, Europe. What a president's job can do, a president's power can be firing the administration and CMS and hiring their own. And that's a power, right? So they're able to essentially change the way CMS is run. And the fear is he may stop the momentum of Clover Health. Now, let me give you the contrary point. I said 75% for Biden, 25% for Trump. Well, if you don't recall, Vivek donated money to Nikki Haley, which you could see that Clover's playing both sides, right? They have the Greek guy who was nominated by Trump. They have Vivek paying for the Republican here. And then in the background, you have Chamath Palihapitiya creating a revenue source stream for donation party for Trump, which allowed the Winklevoss twins to donate a couple million, $2 million to them, and allowed Trump access to the crypto community, which Chamath knows. And so essentially, Clover Health is essentially playing both sides of the political spectrum. So perhaps, maybe, and given that Trump has a close connection to David Sachs now, and also Chamath Palihapitiya, and if you go back to the many episodes ago when Chamath asked David Sachs for help regarding a SAS that just went open and raised $20 million, I think he was talking about Clover Health because he started following Clover Health right after that, right? So with Dave, I'm talking about David Sachs. So I think there's going to be I think it's going to work in Clover's favor both directions. So maybe it won't matter who becomes president, but I will say the trend, what I'm seeing with the Humana's cost increasing and CMS decreasing the amount of rate of disbursements is actually beneficial to Clover, right? So I hope that makes sense. Let me just read the comments real quick. I prefer Trump, but Trump doesn't understand how the macroeconomic works. I feel the pain every time we talk about Humana. I've been holding the stock since January. Okay, yes. So now I'm going to give my opinion on the debate. So if people don't want to hear the opinion, please, like this is the time to exit, right? So before I do that, I'm going to show a couple of videos that will help lighten the situation and laugh a little bit. Okay, so let's do that, and I'm going to show you what I saw, which is probably what you saw, and then I will react to it. I think that's just the best way of doing it. So first is going to be a fun one. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and we're going to annotate this here. Okay, so I'm going to stop the sharing of the screen. I'm going to share the audio version of this. Put one here. Okay, and we'll go from here.
Let me just say, after watching tonight's debate, both of these men should be using performance-enhancing drugs. I'm sorry. Both.
And that's really hilarious. You know what I mean? I feel like everyone feels like that, right?
As much of it as they can get, as many times a day as their bodies will allow. If performance-enhancing drugs will improve their lucidity, their ability to solve problems, and in one of the candidates' cases, improve their truthfulness, morality, and malignant narcissism, then suppository away. Guess what, everybody? They should be taking whatever magical drugs can kick their brains into gear, because this ain't Olympic swimming. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he solved the Middle East, but he was doping, so it doesn't count.
All right. So, yeah, that was pretty funny. That's pretty much it for that one. I'm going to go ahead now and stop the share of that screen. I rubbed my eyes with, I rubbed my finger, I rubbed my eyes with my finger here, and I just ate hot sauce. So my eyes are burning up like a dumbass. So I'm sorry. My eyes are burning right now. Let me just go ahead and share the screen for this other one. This is really so this is going to go on Biden's expectation. So let's go ahead and look at that.
Please don't do your Asian voice. I really like this girl. But that's Trump. Surely the expectations on President Biden will be higher.
He absolutely cannot have a senior moment, a physical or verbal stumble, him forgetting something.
Any of his kind of freezing moments, stay alert, to stay engaged, and to stay awake.
President Biden has to show that he can stand there for an extended period of time.
Remain upright.
Remain.
Yeah, so remain upright. That was the expectation for Biden. I mean, come on now, right? Come on now, right? So you're starting to see where I'm getting with this, right? So again, I'm gonna just share you a couple of clips, and then I'm gonna give you my opinion. Okay, I'm gonna give you my opinion. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's share. Let's share this one here. Okay. Let me just go here and let's share it.
Two ways about it. That was not a good debate for Joe Biden.
Ben? That was painful. I love Joe Biden. I work for Joe Biden. He didn't do well at all.
I love Joe Biden. I work for Joe Biden. Listen, guys, we already know that Van Jones is heavily leaning Democrat. And the one thing I just don't like about CNN is that they're very, very liberal. But they just got a call from the higher superior of the Democratic Party. And I'm going to basically talk. We're going to talk about this right now. Like, I'm going to give you some insights. I have some people that are elected in the state of Arizona that are Democrat that I am very close to. And there's some chatter happening in the Democratic Party right now that's quite interesting that I'm going to release to you guys. But I just have to point out that, it's just the media is very skewed, and I just like people that are independent, right? I mean, you see me, I'm just, looking at various news stations, and then I'm going to look at all this, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you my opinion and hope that you appreciate that, right? But I'm just giving you kind of the data I've received. Okay, let's continue.
He did not do well at all. And he looked, I'll give you the analysis, you kind of have the old man versus the con man. I can walk you through how I'm supposed to see it and say it, but I just want to speak from my heart. I love that guy. That's a good man. He loves his country. He's doing the best that he can. But he had a test to meet tonight to restore confidence of the country and of the base.
So I have to basically say, actually, I'm going to wait. We're going to get to the fact checks. We're going to get to the fact checks after. Let's just let him finish.
And he failed to do that. And I think there's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now. We're still far from our convention.
Take a different course now. What does that mean? Take a different course. What course? The course of the presidency. Okay. Put that in your pocket. We'll talk about it later.
And there is time for this party to figure out a different way forward if he will allow us to do that.
Yeah, there's time to allow for the party to do that. Interesting. Right? That's why they did the debates pretty early. Okay.
But that was not what we needed from Joe Biden, and it's personally painful for a lot of people. It's not just panic, it's pain for what we saw tonight.
Okay, so that's pretty much that. We're going to go ahead and remove this guy here. Stop the share screen. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put this one later. Okay, good. Right here. This is a good one. Okay. So let's go ahead and open up this one here. Okay, so this is the moment, and I hope you guys hear the audio. I hope the God you've been hearing this, right? So this is the moment where I think President Biden lost the debate. This is where he lost. This is where I actually stopped listening, and this is where we actually in our stock terminal we have a political channel where we all come together: Democrat, Republican, Independent, everything. This is where we come together and we talk. And I think this is where he lost the debate. And it's only 25 seconds. And it was, I think, in the first 10 minutes. And I think this is where he lost. This is where the nail hit the coffin. Okay. So let's go ahead and watch it, shall we?
Strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President.
That doesn't make any sense. We finally beat Medicare. I mean, guys, you see that was the nail in the coffin. And at this point, it's not about like Republican versus Democrat. This is very sad to see. Like, this is like shame on. This is how do I explain this to you guys? It's not like, I always have gaffes, right? Sometimes I mess up by saying things, right? But, there was an expectation for Biden in this meeting, given that rumors regarding cognitive decline, right? And that was very sad to see, because as an American, imagine, we are, listen, to all the Republicans and Democrats that watch this channel, if you ever were in a time of crisis where you are in a situation of crisis, regardless where you are, if you're rich or poor, I will always be by your side. Okay. Now I know that maybe sometimes Republicans and Democrats may not feel like that way about each other, but I just want you to like take this hate that you guys have for each other, which I don't understand why. I'm an independent. Like screw you guys for hating each other. But I want you to take that hate and I want you to look at Iran. I want you to look at Russia. I want you to look at North Korea. Do you think that these people love us? They love to see America weak. They love to see our military weak. They love to see us suffer, right? Remember, guys, we are all we have in this country. And there's not a lot of us. There's a what, 325, 350 million people? China has 1 billion. We don't have a lot of us, right? So we're really in this together, right? Well, look what I'm doing, right? I'm trying to go into neurosurgery. I have a nonprofit for global research. I have the stock terminal to help people make money. Like, as an American, I'm trying to help my people, right? So to see Biden suffer like this was very painful to see, right? This is not something that I laugh over. And for people that laugh at this, that are online laughing and everything like that, yeah, I get it. Sometimes it may be comical or whatnot, but I need you to kind of come back to the seriousness here. And regardless of Republican or Democrat, this was hurtful to see. And I get it. Trump was very, there are a couple of things I'm going to analyze and I'm going to tell you in my analysis of the debate. Remind me regarding how Trump entered and how he just exited right after. Obviously, Trump has been attacked. He's been, it almost makes it seem like as soon as he announced for president, he was going to run. It seemed that, they started attacking him in regards to his money and everything like that, right? So that seemed a little bit disingenuous, and I see the other side's complaint, right? But this was very painful to see. Right, it was discord here, and then he just started saying, we killed or ended Medicare or whatever. I'm going to repeat that. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and just replay that. Okay.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
We finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President.
And then I guess that was it. And then Trump responds, "Yeah, you definitely beat it. You beat it to death, right?" It's kind of funny to say that, right? But it's really true, right? And this is where I was talking to you guys about Clover Health, how like he really did beat the crap out of Humana. It's dropped 23%, right? But then it gives opportunity for people like us, for Clover, to make that money, right? So let's go ahead and close this off, okay? So after that debate was really bad, right? And all of a sudden, you see this video here where you see Jill Biden pretty much like congratulating, like she has the mic, congratulating Joe, for this. And, you just watch it for yourself. And I almost feels like we're in elementary school, right? And, you just get a participation award. And this is not good. This is not good at all. So let's just kind of watch this, guys. And then as we watch this and have all the videos I have lined up for you, I'm going to give you my opinion. And I would please I would love to see your comments. I want to see all your comments. I want you to just trash me, bash me, agree with me. I want to hear what you have to say, because I want to know what my subscribers want to say, because I value what you say. Okay. But let's just see this right here. Okay.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every.
I mean, that's just sad. That's just sad. I mean, like, what the hell? That's just sad. Also about this, she helped him walk off the stage. Then she went ahead and she, shook hands for the CNN moderators. And then Trump basically left on the other side. You can see some tension there, some unequalness there. And I get it. It was very hard for Trump to go basically shake Biden's hand, given what has happened in the past. But if, Trump wanted some brownie points, it would have been cool to see, a shake of hands there, but it's just a divided country, and I just don't like it. You know what I mean? This sucks. You know what I mean, guys? This sucks. Now we're going to go to the fact checking right now, and it's, let's go ahead and do this right now here. Okay. Now, interestingly, David Sachs from the All In podcast talked about how like CNN now has a new business model, right? And it's pretty much basically been orchestrated by the top elites of the Democrat to potentially remove Biden from presidency. And it's very interesting to see this, right? So we're going to go ahead and play this. And then as we get closer, we're almost pretty much done here. I got like 2 more videos lined up, and then I'm going to give you my opinion, right? Just to show you how I generated my opinion. Okay. All right.
To some of them, he said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said,
And as you can see, this is CNN fact checking Biden, right? This is bad, right? He may, people they're saying that but Joe Biden was not lying. He's telling the truth. Well, you could see kind of CNN's face right now. The higher ups and the producers, because all of these news anchors, they are subservient to the elites and the elites of the Democratic Party, right? And then right now they're basically having to swallow their pill right now. And they're basically going to be, you're going to see right now a big U-turn of the Democratic Party, and you're going to start seeing the narrative change, and you're going to see how disgusting the Democratic Party is, because you're going to start, in my opinion, just like how they basically removed Bernie Sanders for Hillary. You're going to start seeing that deceptiveness. I think, right? I hypothesize this, right? It shows no loyalty, right? But let's watch this.
Said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people.
Yeah, because that was in the beginning of like the debate, and that was just a low ball. He also talked about Trump, having sex with a porn star, while his wife was pregnant, and what Biden wanted to do and what his trainers did is they wanted him to act unpresidential. They wanted Trump to lash out, and Trump didn't do that. And it really weakened Biden, because imagine if Trump did react. So Trump handled himself very presidentially. And, it was very just kind of awkward and stupid when said, I just want to respond to this. I did not have sex with a porn star. It was just really not kind of weird, iconic moment. That quote's going to be, I'm sure there's going to be memes about this. I'm sure there's going to be, stuff like this written on cups about I did not have sex with. Imagine translating that in a different language. I mean, isn't that a joke? I mean, tell me what other president you've seen in other parts of countries around the world that they quote, I did not have sex with a porn star. I mean, what in the world is this, guys? I mean, it's like just a comedy, right? And I will have to add, my favorite part before I forget was when they started basically arguing about golf. That was really cool. I like that. You know what I mean? It just shows, that's America for us. We compete, this is how we should compete with. I like that. Like that kind of reminded me of the old days, if that makes sense. That was nice to see. It was refreshing. But let's go ahead and just kind of just follow this right here, and then just give you a couple more videos, and I'll give you more of my opinion.
And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he supported, never endorsed him himself. In some of them, he said he's the only president in a while who didn't have.
I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and let's stop the share of the screen here. And then now we pretty much got that video. Donald Trump went ahead and released a ad that pretty much crucified President Biden. So I'm not going to play that just yet. What I do want to play is a interview with Kamla Harris. This was a really bad, just a very bad moment here. I think there was another interview with Kamala Harris where she started stuttering. I think this was very good. I think this is a really good video to watch. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to just go ahead and put it like maybe 1.3x, given the time. And then let's go ahead and watch this here. Okay.
The first debate of the 2024 presidential campaign is now history. The fallout from it is just getting started. Joining us now is Vice President Kamla Harris. Madam Vice President, thanks for being with us. CNN's John King has described a panic inside the Democratic Party right now because of President Biden's performance in tonight's debate. He's been hearing from Democratic lawmakers and others around the country. Some within your own party are wondering if President Biden should even step aside. What do you say to that?
Listen, first of all, what we saw tonight is the president making a very clear contrast with Donald Trump on all of the issues that matter to the American people. Yes, there was a slow start, but it was a strong finish. And what
she admits, yes, there was a slow start. She's basically mentioning that nail in the coffin that I mentioned to you earlier when he just gaffed up completely. He almost glitched. And then this gentleman here is going to now he's, CNN has a new business model now. CNN now is back online to actually doing what they done in the past, which is, report the freaking news. they're about to fight back to her right now and say, what substance, right?
What became very clear through the course of the night is that Joe Biden is fighting on behalf of the American people on substance, on policy, on performance. Joe Biden is extraordinarily strong. And
I'm sorry,
that
on
cannot
substance
be
and
debated.
policy and performance tonight. I mean, the president's performance tonight clearly was disappointing for his supporters. CNN is reporting Democratic lawmakers watching the debate were worried about the president's performance. One said it was a disaster. Another called it a train wreck. Those are Democrats especially worried that Biden did not punch back on Trump's lies.
Listen, people can debate on style points, but ultimately this election and who is the president of the United States has to be about substance. And the contrast is clear. Look at what happened during the course of the debate. Donald Trump lied over and over and over again, as he is wont to do. He would not disavow what happened on January 6th. He would not give a clear answer on whether he would stand by the election results this November. He went back and forth about where he stands on one of the most critical issues of freedom in America, which is the right of a woman to make decisions about their own body. He has been completely ambiguous and all over the place about where he stands on that issue, despite the fact that he hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And that's exactly what they did. And just 3 years ago, we commemorated the 2-year anniversary of Dobbs, wherein women across.
I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward this because this is just a bunch of just distractions from what's been going on. So let me just, I want to just get, I want to hear what CNN's anchor has to say. Okay.
Across our country have
4 years ago, then Vice President Biden 4 years ago. And he was a very different person on the stage 4 years ago when you debated him. That's certainly true, is it not?
Anderson, the point has to be performance in terms of what a president does. A president who incites an insurrection against the Capitol. No, but I got the point that you're making about a 1.5 hour debate tonight. I'm talking about 3.5 years of performance in work that has been historic, whether it be infrastructure, the former guy, the other guy.
And that's important because, if he actually did good, then they'd basically say that 90-minute debate proved that he can do a good job. But now, since he didn't do a good job, now they're just saying it's just 90 minutes. They're undermining it. I mean, this really now solidifies what the American people have been saying regarding Biden's cognitive decline. And, the Statement of the Union address was great, but this really solidifies it. And it's almost like, Americans feel like we have been lied to. And the question is, who is actually really running the country, right? These are the questions that, I'm starting to have, right? Now, again, I'm going to get to my opinion right now. I'm sorry. I'm just giving you all the data that I've been getting at, right? So hold on. I'm sorry. Stick around. Sorry.
Is that
the other guy on the debate stage? The person that you saw on the debate stage that has, for the last 3.5 years, up until today, performed in a way that has been about, whether it be in the Oval Office, negotiating by.
So I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit of this because I want to hear what Anderson Cooper has to say. Okay, hold on.
Partisan deals. I was on the streets of who and in Joe Biden, most recently 90 minutes
debate that
I've been watching the last 3.5 years of performance.
But this was a debate that your campaign wanted. You pushed for this debate at this moment. Obviously, you can't honestly say. Can you say that you are not concerned at all, having watched the president's performance?
See, they pushed for this debate, and this debate was pretty early. And it's just interesting because I feel like they pushed this for this debate on purpose. So they could, it's a little early, so they have time for the Democratic Party to kick him out to bring someone else. I think that's kind of the rumor that's been going on right now. Okay, let's continue.
Performance tonight?
It was a slow start. That's obvious to everyone. I'm not going to debate that point. I'm talking about the.
It's a slow start. I'm not going to debate that with anyone. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I'm gonna replay that. That's. Yeah, I feel bad for Kamala. Oh God, you know what I mean? Oh God, that's just really bad, guys. Okay, let's just play that again.
Slow start. That's obvious to everyone. I'm not going to debate that point. I'm talking. It was a slow start.
Can you say that you are not concerned at all, having watched the president's performance tonight?
It was a slow start. That's obvious to everyone. I'm not going to debate that point. I'm talking about the choice in November. I'm talking about one of the most important elections in our collective lifetime. And do we want to look at what November will bring? Action of democracy and create that this is talk about it. Choice in ordinary president Donald Trump, and that's Joe Biden. Mike Pence is nowhere to be found in supporting Donald Trump, and that's why he has to look for. That's why he has to look for someone else to run with him, who they're going to have to.
Neither person on that stage tonight made the argument as coherently as you just did. You mentioned reproductive rights. I'd like to just play that exchange that we saw tonight.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board, at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
To someone who watched this debate tonight and has serious concerns about the President of the United States, what do you say to them about what they just saw?
They saw the fact, they witnessed the fact that if Donald Trump were elected to be president of the United States this November, he will sign a national abortion ban.
That's incorrect. He said that he would not on the All In podcast. I really actually enjoyed the All In podcast debate with Trump. And honestly, I feel like David Sachs and the All In podcast, how they're both Democrat and Republican, really prepped Donald Trump for this debate. He really, really sharpened his skills. No, he said that he will not support a national ban, and he would basically make the states vote for abortion or not. And do you really think California is going to, support an abortion ban? Of course not, right? So this is obviously a lie, right? But I'm going to fast forward because I want to hear more. I want to hear Anderson Cooper's piercing questions rather than just the propaganda that we've been hearing for the past 3 years. Okay, let's just continue.
Take him at his word. He said, believe anything. Mayor have her government
and just
at risk. That's what you should take away from that discussion.
And just
Joe Biden was very clear. He will sign back into law the protections of Roe v. Wade.
The person we
These
saw
are big
tonight,
issues,
the president we saw tonight on that
issues.
stage, is that how he is every day?
The Joe Biden that I work with every day is someone who, as I have said, has.
That's a really good question. Is Joe Biden? I'm going to repeat that question. That's a really good. That's a good question. Is the Joe Biden that we saw today on stage? Is that the person you work with today? Is that the person you work with? That's a big question. That's the question on every American's mind. Okay, let's and then the world too. Let's continue.
Saw tonight on that stage. Is that how he is every day?
The Joe Biden that I work with every day is someone who, as I have said, has performed in a way that has been about bringing people into the Oval Office, Republicans and Democrats, to compromise in a way that is extraordinary these days because it just doesn't happen, but Joe Biden can make it happen. The Joe Biden I see is someone who goes to our allies around the world and strengthens NATO to the point that there are 2 new members of NATO who just about 4 years ago, people said, is NATO even have a reason?
She doesn't answer the question, right? She doesn't answer the question directly. She's talking about NATO. She's not there with him when he goes there. She's not there with him in NATO.
For existing and bringing. So that's the Joe Biden I know.
Okay. So anywho, so let's go ahead and let's, we're going to type in, Kamala Harris here, interview. And then there's another one I want to show. I think this is CNBC, and this is the bad one. This is not good.
We are joined now by.
We're going to go ahead and show you this one real quick and watch this one.
By Vice President Kamala Harris. Vice President, we thank you so much for joining us tonight.
And I think that is telling the truth. But I think what's most important is when we look.
I'm going to fast forward it to the point that I wanted to mention.
At what Joe Biden has accomplished over the last 3 years, whether it be in historic infrastructure jobs, bringing them on the last, and Donald Trump.
Former President Trump is burdened by the truth. How would you describe his performance tonight?
Well, I'd say that, first of all, I mean, just look, for example, on the issue of what happened January 6th, the insurrection, that he would not disavow, right? He will wet off when we government take now and take on this clout.
And this is too old. Was the claim convinced that he is mentally fit?
Listen,
All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I went ahead and found the video. Look at how much, let me just make sure. Okay. Look at how much Kamala Harris stutters. I think she did this interview before CNN, I think. And she was just, still, she had a slow start. She had a bad start to her thing, but you could see like how many times she stutters. You can see that she's within her base. It just doesn't look good. Just see how much she stutters. And I just want you to analyze, just pretend that you're in a job interview right now. And your job is basically to detect bullshit, right? And I just need you to do that for a sec and listen to this. Okay.
The American people are secondary to his priorities.
Madam Vice President, as you're well aware, one of the biggest insecurities facing the campaign going into tonight was the claim, potentially, that President Biden is too old, that his mental acuity is just not there. Reaction across the board, including from Democrats, is that they were not convinced, potentially, tonight. What do you say to those voters who watched tonight and weren't sure that he is mentally fit?
Listen, he did not get off to a strong start in that debate.
I mean, do you see that? And you see the lady's face on the left, the news anchor. She does not like that. Look, that is. I'm gonna screenshot this face. I'm gonna screenshot this face. Okay. I'm gonna screenshot this face. Okay. This is what the administration. Okay. Let me just screenshot this. Okay. And let me just go ahead, stop the share of the screen. Let me share the normal screen. Okay. This is what the administration wants you to believe how things are going. A nice smile, American flag in the back, everything's good. Yesterday, this is our reaction. This could literally turn into a meme. Just this by itself. This was our reaction to yesterday's debate. You could see from her eyes, she looks scared, she looks uncertain, almost she looks disgusted, right? This is the reaction that we got. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you one last video. And this was a video of Donald Trump's ad on Joe Biden. And it is brutal. It is freaking brutal. It was really bad. So I'm just going to show you this, guys, right now, okay? Let me just show you this right now. This is and I'm collecting these are all my thoughts. This is all the data I saw, right? So you can all see it on just one video, right? And a little bit of commentary here, okay? Let's go ahead and add this one here.
Both how making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to provide housing for Black Americans. The impact on the choice, the idea that they're gonna. I'm proposing that everybody the millionaires pay 1%. So no one I've not raised the cost of Social Security for anybody. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And wants to get away with, get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it just stopped. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
Yeah, so this was an ad made by Donald Trump's team. I may have to say right now, also another thing I realized that, he said that the Border Patrol people were endorsing him, and the Border Patrol people, the little group they have, said, no, we don't endorse you, Donald Trump. I'm sorry, we don't endorse you, Joe Biden. So yeah, that was not good, because that really shows that the Border Patrol is on the side of Donald Trump. So I hope that now I kind of gave you everything that. So this is my face right now. This is my face. This is my America. The Biden administration wants you to believe this, and this is what America pretty much feels now. America feels like. Do you think? Look at her. Her shoulders are stiff. Her shoulders are stiff. You know what I mean? Her shoulders are stiff, and she does not look comfortable right now. Like if I was going on a first date, and my date looked like this and looked at me this way, I would be very, very, I would feel, holy crap. Like if I was, if my significant other, if I was talking to my significant other right now and she looked at me this way, I would be like, oh fudge. Like, holy crap. Like, especially if I'm looking like this way and then my significant other looks at me like this. Oh God. I'm in the doghouse. Okay. So anywho, for people that are just joining, just kind of watching the beginning of the video, this is what I saw last night. And I'm willing to argue it's also what you saw. And, this is a tough decision, ladies and gentlemen. I think America, like from the perspective of independence, America, like from my perspective is, do we really have these two candidates? Can't we just figure someone else out? Do we really have just these two candidates? Right. right? From the perspective of Democrats are like, oh my God, what are we going to do now? Oh crap. Oh God, we need to find somebody else. Can Biden run for president? Can Biden be removed? I mean, honestly, what I want to do is, can Biden be removed? Wait, can Biden be replaced? So can Biden be replaced? Who would replace Joe Biden? That's the Guardian. You know, how could Democrats replace Joe Biden as their candidate as president? This is The Economist. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, these are reputable news sources. Could Democrats replace Biden for president? This is Wall Street Journal. Ladies and gentlemen, the news media, the Democratic Party that controls the mainstream media, has turned their attacks on Biden. And now the same knives that went into Donald Trump will go into Joe Biden. Okay. Now, let me say, if you were to look right now, and let's go to Google Trends really quickly. Let's open up Google Trends. And let's open up here. And let's see, can Biden be replaced? I'm curious to see if we can see, holy moly, right? So yesterday was June 27, and you can see, look at that increase from this was right after, this is right. Okay. This is so the debate started at 6 p.m. Arizona time, right? And within, and I'm telling you, these are all strategists, right? Democrats have this data, right? Within 10, 20 minutes into the debate, can Biden be replaced? Literally peaking up to 100, can Biden be replaced? At 12 minutes after the debate. And now we're starting to see, then we all slept, and now everyone's, can he be replaced? Now I'm curious to see kind of how that looks like 30 minutes out, right? Holy shit. Holy shit. Look at this. In the past 30 days, can Biden be replaced has gone to the moon. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a high probability that the Democratic Party will replace Biden. I mean, just look at this, right? Let's go ahead and look at it for the past. Again, listen, guys, my job, I'm not a political analyst, but I analyze securities as a hobby. I'm not a financial advisor, right? So I'm using my transferable skills to analyze what the hell's going on here. And let's look at the past 12 months. Can Biden be replaced? There's a little blip in here, right? I'm sure he gaffed up there too, right? Look at that. Let's go ahead and look at, can Biden be replaced since 2000, right? Look at that. Look at this. Holy shit. Look at that. It is short squeezing. It is short squeezing to the moon. It is short squeezing to the room. R.I.P. Joe Biden. The Democratic Party, and by the way, just letting you know, Pennsylvania. Oh, hold on. So, just so we can be clear, in the past day, right? Pennsylvania, Arizona, search interest is 30. Michigan, search interest is 28. These are, ladies and gentlemen, these are battleground states. These are battleground states. Okay. Trump next president. I'm curious. I'm curious. I don't know. Holy shit. Holy shit. Look at this. Right after the debate, Trump next president. Look at that. Arizona, 50. Michigan's, you can't see it. Pennsylvania, 31. Pennsylvania is a swing state. Are you starting to see the general picture? Are you starting to see the data? Again, I always like to back up my stuff with data, right? I tell you my opinions, and I tell you where I got my information from. I showed you where I got my information from, and these are my opinions. But this here is data, right? So holy crap. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. That's all I have for you guys, right? For folks that are interested in our stock terminal and our mastering stock market course, there'll be a link down below. If you find value in what we do and what we preach. I heard the PCE numbers are good. I haven't checked them given the debacle of Joe Biden that happened. The Fed's preferred inflation rate gauges gauge rises at the slowest pace since March. Good. String of promising inflation prints as investors search. So I'm sure the market's exploding right now. I'm curious to see, because I haven't looked at Clover right now. How's Clover doing? So the market hasn't even opened up yet. So we'll see kind of how Clover's doing. I'm curious to see Humana, because I want to know if like big money is stepping in. Yeah, Humana is up 0.94% on the market. So I think big money is going to go back into those big Medicare Advantage plans, given that Trump is a kind of the incumbent enforcer. But I'm hopeful that potentially maybe, they might be able to lobby in with Trump for Clover. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash that like button. Let me just go ahead and go through these things here. Is she supposed to be a journalist? The liberal media had Joe Biden in mind last night. It's a collective effort. Biden, when he accidentally said he killed Medicare last night, exactly. That was the big nail in the coffin, Nick. Trump was a better president. The better man won the debate. It's simple. Yeah, and a lot of people feel, just look at the Google searches, right? Unfortunately, mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, is nothing more than the propaganda arm of the DNC. I agree with you there. If you look at their donors and the people that own it, that is very true. I agree with you. Kamala Harris is the replacement. She said that she's ready. Yeah, I don't know. She's honestly going to go down with the ship, honestly. The biggest complaint right now, if they do replace Joe Biden with someone else, and let's say they replace Kamala Harris, that's not good look. That's going to go really against the Joe Biden administration, because they're removing an African American from the vice presidency, and that's really not good. That will really put a nail in the coffin for the Democratic Party amongst black voters, in my humblest opinion. RFK people, yeah, I need to see the debate with him. It's kind of sad that they didn't put him in there. Maybe Gavin Newsom is the replacement. Honestly, if Joe Manchin was the replacement, I think Joe Manchin can beat Trump. I think he's just in the middle. Oil people like him. I think he's just in the middle. It's crazy. If an 80-year-old, why would you want to run for president again? Just chill and enjoy the rest of your life. I agree with you. I agree. Let's put it this way. Am I going to hire an 80-year-old right now to help me with my stock terminal? No, right? So Biden ran for president in 1988, 2008, 2020. The lust of power never ends until they live. Honestly, man, I just see the lust and power in Jill Biden's face. Holy shit, man. She just really wants power. I just saw this video of where'd it go? Here. I'm gonna retweet it because I don't know how to do it on my phone, but I'm gonna untweet it. I'm gonna unretweet it. I retweeted it just so I could access it from my phone, from the computer here. So I just retweeted this right now. Look at that. Look at that. Holy freaking crap. What in the God's hell is this? Whoa. Crazy, right? I'm just on retweet. I know I don't want to, then we have this one here too. Oh my God. What craziness here. Okay. So anywho, guys, I love each and every one of you. God bless you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get to work. I will see you on the next one. God bless all of you.